Marvel has seemingly done the impossible and made Tony Stark as popular in real life as he supposedly is in the Iron Man comics. With Iron Man 3 coming out in the movies in the very near future, it seems appropriate that we take a look back at Stark's adventures in gaming. The thing is, the last two Iron Man movies had licensed games that were embarrassingly bad. So we need to find some substitutes to help fans get their fill of the Golden Avenger. Iron Man doesn't have many games where he's the solo character. More often than not, he's grouped with his fellow heroes. This brings us to the first game in our tour through Shellhead's gaming history, the iconic beat-em-up Captain America and the Avengers. It may be Cap's name in the title, but we all know who we're picking today. This was an extremely popular arcade game released in 1991 and ported to home consoles over the next couple of years. Up to 4 players work together to defeat the Red Skull. The game is full of flavour, with colourful graphics, multiple cameo appearances, and the best kinds of cheesy voices.
You can't escape! You will be the one escaping!
Whilst I can't put it on as high a pedestal as the classics in the genre, like Turtles in Time or Aliens vs Predator, Captain America and the Avengers has an irresistible charm to it that makes it worth playing even now. The arcade version is far and away the best, but in the likely scenario that you can't find a cabinet, the SNES or Mega Drive versions will do the job. A lesser known title that's a bit more of an acquired taste.
It's Iron Man Exo Manowar in heavy metal.
Let's get something out of the way. Exo Manowar is not a comic hero you probably recognise, and that's okay. Basically, Exo Manowar is an ancient warrior who is captured by the aliens until he manages to find and activate a powerful suit of armour and escape. You know what? You get the idea. It's a weird crossover that was basically justified by someone saying, you know, they're both humans who wear flying armour. The material just writes itself. The game itself is a pretty traditional side-scroller where the player runs, flies, and shoots their way through the various mission objectives for each level. The game was decidedly basic for the time and ended up being panned by critics for that very reason. In spite of this, the game has aged better than you might expect. The graphics that were criticised for being simple at the time are smoother and easier on the eyes than many of the polygonal 3D games of the time, whilst the gameplay reminds me a bit of the 16-bit side-scrollers that I'd enjoyed in the previous generation. It also features a 2-player mode that feels a little bit like a low-rent version of Metal Slug. It's not a great game, but for those looking for a bit more Iron Man in their gaming diets, you could do worse.
No! No, damn it! We talked about this!
Finally, for those who enjoy loot and grinding, there's the action RPG games. There's actually a wealth of choices here. Iron Man's a secret character in X-Men Legends 2, and is both playable and a key part of the story for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. However, my personal favourite was the original Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Basically, the game functions like a streamlined version of Diablo, with up to 4 players running through stages, killing enemies, finding hidden items, and levelling up their heroes. There's a huge variety of characters to choose from, each with their own abilities and playstyles. One neat feature was linking character attributes to the different costumes, giving players a reason to stick with a costume and level it up along with their normal abilities. Iron Man was one of my favourite characters to play as in this game, focusing on rapid projectile attacks and area of effect damage. A side note, the cinematics in this game are still some of the best in the business, especially the amazing introduction. Marvel Ultimate Alliance also deserves recognition for treating Dr. Doom with the respect he deserves.
I have little time for your petty threats, Colonel. Surrender your ship now, or I shall destroy it.
This is only a small selection of games featuring the Armored Avenger. We haven't even touched on the fighting games from Capcom, like Marvel vs. Capcom. Needless to say, there are a wide variety of sources for you to get your Iron Man fix from. So, when you walk out of that cinema in the next week or two, Don't head straight to Amazon, plonk down money on the next inevitably rubbish licensed cash-in. Find one of these other games instead. Here's some motivational music to help you on your way.